David here. Weekly look today is Saturday, 20th of May, 6:30 in the morning. Market close looking at the November contract 2018. Got the yearly chart, monthly candles in front of us. Close 152.50. What else can we see on this chart? We can clearly see a nice sloping upwards trend. We can see a swing high here, 155, look to be tested. We can see a short-term moving average now coming to cross over the 60 SMA. We'll test it, 30 crossing the 60, increase in volume, stochastics going up, looking good. Pop down into the monthly chart, clearly see last month's stellar candle into May here, closing 52.50, identify the swing high here we've tested on this chart, 154, looking good. Let's pop down into all important weekly. Weekly, you can see the stellar candle here, the end of April. We can identify this candle with this weekly candle with a big pin at the bottom here. You can see this here is a bullish candle closing at 52.50. Let's pop down into the all important daily and we'll use a drawing chart with that one. Let's get a pen, nice blue line. We identified a Elliott wave count at the moment. This is the 1, this is the 2, 3, and our target was 354, which we tested the beginning of April, beginning of May. We can see here we tested this swing high here. Where's the 60 SMA? 60 SMA is pointing nicely upwards now. We've got the short-term 630 SMA also pointing up. We've fallen below the 10 SMA here, the green line. We had a gap down here. Just put a G here. We've had a gap. We've come down. We've come back up and retested and filled this gap here, closing 152.50. We had a low here of 149. We tested 150, and we're back in. So basically, the Elliott wave pattern. Obviously, we've looked at this 4. It's 1, 2, then we get a 3, and then we get a 4, and then doing the 4, you get a sort of consolidation come, and then you have the final push up to the 5. Now, target on the 5 here, we've already got that in place, 164. So 164 we're looking for. We've had, obviously, we've had the 1, we've had the 2, and we've had the 3. So we can clearly see now that we're in this 4 kind of pattern here, which we've got this exactly what we were looking for last week. We had this pullback, we've held 150, so we've got a range coming into play now. The problem is, I always find difficult is how long this range is going to last. There is no rule book for that. We could see a sneaky, test of it above this again, above the test it. We could fail. We come back here, but it's like a cold spring. The tighter these waves get, then we're potentially looking for a breakout to this 164. We could have another test below again, 150. So expect this kind of action where we see this swings up and down. Where do we change our mind? Well, they all say that a taking out of the high of 1. So let's put this high of 1 here, 147. So at the moment, we've got a nice gap between 147 and 152. We'd obviously, I would look to any penetration of the 60 SMA would then negate this kind of move we're looking at the moment. But at the moment, with the long-term chart still in play, looking at a nice slow upwards trend, we know we've got the map out of the plan. We're in this 4 consolidation phase. All looks to be going to plan. Let's just monitor it and keep an eye on it next week. Thanks for